Don't text her again. Why your silence is always going to speak louder than words. Guys, I want you to do right now, I know you're looking at your phone right now and you really, you want to message her. Your mind is going crazy right now. What I want you to do is I want you to take a moment and I want you to stop. And before you even hit send on that text that you've been typing and delaying and going through your head over and over again, trying to figure out the right thing to say for the last 10 or 20 minutes, man, I know what you're going through and I get it, okay? Your phone is in your hand right now and that cursor is blinking and then your heart is like racing right now and you feel like part of you is gonna jump off of a cliff and everything. And for many of you guys out here, you've actually convinced yourself that this message that I send this time is going to be different. This is the message that's going to convince her that everything needs to change. This is going to be the thing that is going to change the whole dynamics of everything that we are together. And I get it. You want to make it feel like you're either just checking in, you're sending a friendly text, you just want to open the doors of communication. And see, the thing is that you're not texting her because you're confident right now. You're texting her right now because there's a part of you that's kind of terrified, you know what I mean? Maybe it's terrified of letting go. Maybe it's terrified of not having an understanding of what the two of you can be together and things like that. But there's something going on with you right now, okay? And if part of you just doesn't want to feel like she forgot you, you know, you don't want to feel forgotten in this whole thing because in your head, you're playing over and over and over and over again what you want things to be like. And part of you sometimes feels like, you know what, if I don't reach her or if I don't talk to her right now, she's going to replace me. And in that silence that we always talk about, it just makes you feel like that you were never important to her at all. And I just think for many of you guys out there, there's a truth that most of us have to sit and we have to face sometimes, that every second that you sit around thinking about her and every time you hesitate to send that message, okay, you know, and beating yourself up saying, why haven't I done that, okay? There is this gap that is more powerful than anything that you could ever type, gentlemen, because right now, you are just going through an emotional chaos and you're tying yourself up in knots and knots and knots, trying to send that, is she just interested in me? Is she going to reach out to me? Can we rekindle this thing? And sometimes when you do things like that, it's going to come off that you're kind of desperate. And I know you guys aren't desperate. I know you're hurting, and I know you want to rekindle that magic that you had with her a long time ago that you felt like you've lost. And I know that you really want to get it back, but you just don't know. You just don't know how to move and how to actually do it. And I know that you want to know, does she care about me? Does she miss me? Is she thinking about me? Am I on her mind? And what's going on? Like, why isn't she reaching out to me, man? And I know that, guys, that sucks for you guys out here and everything, because what you don't understand about the game is when you got one thought, one mind, one way. This is why we all, for 2026, we got to put our heart in our pocket. And you know what? The one thing that a woman should be able to feel more than anything is your absence, okay? And gentlemen, when it's done right, okay, absence is not going to actually push her away. It's actually going to bring her closer to you. But the question is this simple: are you strong enough to hold out enough to allow it to work? Because if you can just hold out a little bit and allow it to work, it's gonna work for you guys out here. But this is not a game of manipulation. This isn't a game of playing games with a woman. And I just want to make something really clear to you young men, is that when you text first, because of an argument or a disagreement and you're trying to do everything you can to get her back, what happens is that you don't understand there's a message that goes beyond the message, okay? And if you're sitting around here running behind a woman wanting to text her, what you're doing is you're taking off your crown and you're saying, you take it, it's yours. And you're announcing to her world that guess what? You matter more than my self-respect. And the moment a woman begins to realize that, that's when everything is gonna go away from you. Because the thing is with women that most of you guys really don't understand when it comes to the game is that women don't always crave the men that are always going to be available at their beck and call. I don't write the rules of the game, nor am I trying to teach you the rules. I'm trying to teach you the rule of you. And the thing is that women love the most is a man they cannot predict. They crave the tension. And gentlemen, is always going to be in the silence they're going to miss. And that's why when you're talking to a woman, that's why it's important to be impactful with her. That's why the game is so important, because when you are impactful with her, then when you show her why you're that guy, that silence is going to hit her more, where she is going to think about you. Because listen, a lot of women, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, you're not the only one that's trying to hit her up, and you're not the only one trying to text her. You're not the only one that's trying to get at her. But the thing that you're going to create when you have this game is certainty. And then when you can actually create that, man, that certainty that you are going to create when you don't know what you're doing is going to actually kill the mystery. And when mystery dies, the attraction, the sexual attraction all goes away, all right? You think that, I get it, guys. You're trying to fight for your woman. You're trying to fight for love. You're trying to fight for understanding. But at the end of the day, what she's going to see, regardless of what you're trying to fight for, she's going to recognize you're trying to fight for validation. And every desperate, hurtful message that you send that comes from you sitting and wondering, you know, is she going to respond? How is she going to respond? Can I make this work? Did I do it the right way? What can I do to change and everything? You don't understand the message that you're sending her. You're actually sending her a message that, you know what? I haven't moved on, okay? I need you to pick, choose, love, and care for me. And I need your permission, because you matter more than I matter to myself. And when you move that way, gentlemen, that's actually going to turn a woman off. Because the harder you try to prove your worth to a woman, the less she's going to feel it. Because the thing about the game that y'all don't understand is that the real value, when you have game, one thought, one mind, one way, man, we don't beg, man, we don't chase. And the real value, you know, listen, I'm never going to campaign for her to give me a shot or give me a chance or let's work things out or what can I do to make things right with you. Man, a real man is not doing that, okay? The value that I'm trying to teach you young men in this is the value that you have to have is that a man that's going to stand 10 toes down and is not going to trip, not going to get angry. Yeah, I didn't say it's not going to sting, gentlemen. I didn't say it was going to sting. They're not going to sting. Because in that silence where you don't have the game, what is going to happen is your mindset and your mind, the way you think, the way you move, and how you feel about yourself will create scenarios in your head of what you think is going on. Is she with somebody right now? Who is she seeing? Who is she talking to? Who is she sleeping with? And I don't want you to go there. See, gentlemen, the thing is that I was always taught to just, hey, listen, look, I'm just going to accept you for what you are. And regardless of what that is, I just don't care. I mean, I just don't care. And I don't need you. I don't. Because I'm the prize. You're not. And see, the problem is that silence is not the absence of communication. Man, silence is the greatest communication a man can actually have with a woman. Because, you know what? Instead of trying to create something, or instead of trying to build a false tension, or to think that, well, you know what, I'm gonna ghost her, I'm gonna block her, I'm not gonna talk to her anymore, I'm gonna show her. No, the tension is when you don't even give a fuck, because she's gotta feel when she meets you that you are not the kind of man that is ever gonna run behind a woman, okay? Because what you want to do is you want to create something where she begins to tell herself stories in her head about you without you playing any games. The question is that, you know what, did he need me, or is he lost without me? Or he'll flip, he'll always chase, he'll always beg, he'll always run behind. And when a woman feels that way, that you're always gonna run behind her, and you're always gonna chase, and you're always gonna beg, and you're always gonna do all these things, it is actually gonna turn her off than turn her on, man. And that's the problem a lot of guys don't see. Because let me tell you the beautiful thing about what silence does when you have the game locked in, okay? See, week one, I get it, man. You're gonna shake, you're gonna crave, you're gonna go through a detox, young man, if you don't have this game, because you're gonna run through all your mind, man. Your mind at all these times are gonna try to create these false stories and these false narratives. And yeah, hey, look, maybe she did meet somebody. I'm not saying she didn't. But the one thing she is not thinking about is you. Because she, from the first moment she met you, she realized you were the one that is always thinking about her. You're the one that's always running behind her. You're the one telling her how beautiful she is. You're the one telling her how much you care about her. You're the one always reaching out to her. So she knew from the get-go what you were to yourself. She knew that she can run games. She knew that she could play games. But she also knew the worst thing, the most devastating thing, and that is what she knew at the end of the day, that if I ever leave this guy, he's always gonna crawl his ass back, and there lies the problem, okay? And that's the thing that's hurting you right now, because you're trying to get something back that was never yours in the beginning, and that's her. Because you gave too much of yourself away to her. You begged too much. You pleaded too much. You tried to make everything right with somebody that just wasn't messing with you on that level. And because she wasn't messing with you on that level, that bothered you. You tried more, you tried harder, and you tried to make things right, but you can't make things right when everything that you do is actually wrong. And that's where most guys mess up when it comes to the game, because they don't have an understanding of what we call understanding of understanding, okay? And most guys don't realize that, she wasn't the destination, man. She was the lesson. And the lesson is simple this, okay? The victory was never winning her back. All right, that's not the victory. The victory is understanding who you are in this game and winning yourself back. And this is why when you have this game and you understand yourself, you're never gonna put yourself in a bad position where you have to run behind somebody that doesn't really care about you. Gentlemen, listen, the world is not a fair place, and it never will be. But the problem is, I get it, you're not used to women being around you, or you may be used to one woman, and you're so used to that one woman, when she wants to up and leave or hold a power play over you, you feel that you've got to do something different or something special to win her back. You don't need to do that when it comes to the game. And that's what I'm trying to tell all you guys. You don't need to do that. The way you have to do is, listen, you got to think and learn the game and be different, okay? And in your stillness is that's where the beauty is at. You can find so much beauty in chaos. And I know that sounds crazy, but the beautiful thing about you, when you connect yourself, you don't make women the sole purpose of your life. They are nothing but a perk, and they don't stand any kind of a chance to a man who is one thought, one mind, one way. You don't have to feel empty. You don't have to keep beating yourself up. You don't have to keep being depressed. But I'm just saying, you've got to face it. the more you run away from that feeling because you don't want to feel hurt and you don't want to feel pain, it's going to make it even worse. Because then what you're doing is that you're actually creating an illusion and creating a story about somebody that is just not interested in you. Unfortunately, guys, she was never interested in you. And that doesn't make you a bad person. It just says that she's just not the right woman for you. Gentlemen, women are always gonna come and go in your life, man. That's the thing about the game that y'all don't understand. They're always gonna come, they're always gonna go, and they're always gonna find somebody else. But the beautiful thing about the game that's gonna give you the most power is, what did you leave behind when the two of you stopped talking? And that is why you need to learn the game. That is why when you build sexual tension, that is why when you create an air of something that connects her where she misses your text messages, your voice messages, she misses how she feels around you. Because if she cannot feel that way around you, she is automatically gonna move on to something else. And gentlemen, it's cool. Hey, look, that's what life happens, gentlemen. And I'm not gonna give you that cliche BS that good things happen to those who wait and all that other stuff. I'm not gonna say that to you. No, what I'm gonna tell you is the absolute truth. The problem is that we never take a moment and set ourselves up for women to miss us and think about us and want to get with us. And if you cannot create that with that woman, she is going to move on. Women are cold, callous, and calculated. They can like you today and cut you off tomorrow. But the question is, between that time, the silence is going to affect one person. The question is it going to be you? Are you going to allow the silence to ruin your life, hurt you, harm you, and make you feel bad about yourself? It is a question that you have got to ask yourself, because the only way you're going to get over this and the only way you're going to win is learning the game and understanding what the game is actually about. And this is why I tell all you guys out here that, you know what, the silence can be a victory for you, but the victory has to come in not when she walks away. And that is why, gentlemen, I've always told you the one thing I learned about the game, and as I teach you guys, I want to build and I want to create for my end in the beginning. Because if you could do that, you actually change up the whole entire game, because women are just not used to someone that puts herself in a prime position to be missed, to be thought of. And in that silence where she crawls her ass back to you. But this is not a thing of a manipulation tactic to make her crawl back to you, because just because women crawl back to you doesn't mean that you need to give them an audience. And I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do anything to try to get her back and to win her over. Because if you try to do something to get her back or try to do something to win her over, then what you're saying to her is that I'm just not good enough. I believe more in you than I do myself. And I get it. You want to reach out to her. I get it. You want to know what she's doing. You want to know why she's texting you. And then part of you's like, man, I know I shouldn't look at her page. I know I shouldn't. And then all of a sudden you look at her page and then you see her talk to somebody else. You see her interacting with somebody else, and that really gets to you. And listen, I don't want you to hurt any more than you're hurting right now. But I want you to do is I want you to see the beauty of your value, the beauty of your worth. And when you can see the beauty of your value and you can see the beauty of your worth, everything is actually going to change. But the problem is you just sitting there in the silence, worried about her is the worst thing you can do. It is in the silence where you move forward. It is in the silence where you go on to the next town. That's why I always taught when I was young, never look back. Burn the bridge, burn the ship, charge your ass to the game, and keep it moving. It's one of the most devastating things that a woman is not used to, because she knows in her mind that the average guy is gonna crawl his ass back. But gentlemen, you're not the average guy. I know you're not the average guy. You just got to realize you're not the average guy. You got to get in that bathroom, look in the mirror, and talk to the guy in the mirror and let him know, I got you, man. In that silence of just looking at yourself in the mirror, look at the man in the mirror. Take a moment. Look at him. Tell him you love him. Look at the man in the mirror. Tell him I got you. Tell him the world, all I need is you. I don't need anybody else. And I promise, when you talk to that guy in the mirror that way, he's gonna say the same thing right back to you. And I'm not trying to make fun of this. I know what you're going through, but you don't have to go through it alone, okay? You got this, man. I believe in you. The question is, do you believe in yourself? But at the end of the day, gentlemen, that's gonna be the end of the video, but not the end of our discussion. Gentlemen, if you are ready to start the process to learn a game where you can draw them back in and want them to mess with you, go ahead and send an email. Ask for your PDF file so we can go ahead and get you beginning on your pathway to lace you with this game. And then other than that, gentlemen, if you like what you hear, gentlemen, and you're not ready, guys, we have YouTube videos, we have YouTube shorts, and we go live where you could talk to me one-on-one, call in with text messages and everything, and we teach the game off the top of our head. So just remember that, gentlemen. You don't have to go through this alone, but if you learn the game, your silence is going to have more of an effect on her. Just remember that at the end of the day, gentlemen. And if you like this video right here, guys, you're going to love the video that we have right here, guys. At the end of the day, gentlemen, don't text her. Don't think about her. Keep your eyes forward, move to the next town, talk to the next woman, and don't put all your chips or put all your eggs in one basket, okay? Don't do that, okay? Be the man I know you can be. I got you, man, and we'll talk soon.